Hey, welcome to the first week of the Chicago Bulls Superfans podcast. My name's Chris.
Wait a minute,
What? You didn't sign up for the Superfans podcast, my friend Nat. What's the problem?
I do not believe we've ever discussed this. Where is this coming from?
I mean, the Bulls are 10-4, and I just felt like we needed to mix it up because they're just doing so well, and my inner Bull is coming out. I'll tone it down a little bit. I have to say the 10-4 Bulls, with coming off a great road stand in LA, 2-for-2 Clippers and Lakers, are just running roughshod over the league. Fourth in net rating. Nat, did you know fourth in net rating?
Fourth.
Brilliant.
God.
Brilliant. Love it.
Oh man. Getting
Mr.
all hot under the collar over here.
Hot.
Woo.
Mr. DeRozan, fourth in points per game right now. He is lighting up the league. Levine's seventh, the only team with two guys in the top 10. Only team with two guys in the top 15 even.
Oh, it's your Chicago's coming out again.
Yes.
Well, okay, hold on. What is going on here?
I don't know. I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm just talking about. This is supposed to
be a fantasy basketball podcast about players that are on all of the NBA's teams and about the owners of said players in our league.
Yeah, but the Bulls have this is the best they've started since '96, and they're third in field goal percentage. Like, they're shooting amazing. They don't even have Vooch right now, and they beat the Clippers and the Lakers, starting Tony Bradley at the 4 or at the 5.
They also beat the Clippers without Kawhi and the Lakers without LeBron. But whatever.
I don't understand your pessimism here.
I'm very happy for you. I'm glad you are so bullish on the Bulls. But once again, I think you're getting a little off topic here, my friend. This is a fantasy basketball podcast, not a Chicago Bulls podcast. I'm open to your Chicago Bulls podcast someday in the future. I know this is Wednesday and you're confused because usually it's a Tuesday show.
I see there's a different show. I don't know what this show you're referencing is.
Randomly do another show without me the next day, and I've just never heard of this.
I'm just calling it like it is. Are you cheating
on me in fantasy podcasts? Because I got to know right now. You need to be honest.
I'm not cheating on you. I just thought it was an appropriate time and place to highlight how good the Bulls are doing and some really excellent production. They're playing your Portland Trailblazers as we speak on this show,
and currently beating them.
So I could just talk about them all night. Like, what else is there to talk about?
This is a bit surprising given how reserved you've been about the Bulls in recent weeks. I haven't heard any exuberance out of you whatsoever. So I don't even know where this is coming from.
I'm just excited. I'm just excited. I figured it was worth an episode to talk about it. What else are we gonna talk about?
I don't know. There's other things, but go on. It sounds like you've prepared quite the spiel. Do you got any more, or did you use it all already?
That's mostly what I got.
All right.
So do we have to talk about fantasy now?
Yeah. That is no. DunceBoy returns.
I don't want to talk about the league.
DunceBoy is the worst. I'm sorry. At least you do have your Chicago Bulls to get you through this dry stretch of fantasy. I don't know what I would call it.
It's pretty dry.
Incompetence.
I would say a very dirty thing right now, but it won't be appropriate for the fans at home. And we'll save it for.
We'll put it on our OnlyFans later.
Yeah, on OnlyFans, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we've got an OnlyFans. That's right. Now next week, we do the podcast shirtless.
Yes, I did tie last week against a team with two players not playing the entire week. So it's barely not even
Things
a moral
are looking
victory.
up.
It's barely not a moral victory.
Everything's coming up big ball.
That hurts. You also, unfortunately, did not pull it out last week.
Oh yeah, I got crushed, totally crushed. Everybody laid an egg except for number one overall player Steph Curry.
He's good at basketball. Let's
He
just
is,
focus
and
on.
he seems to be better than ever at basketball, which is kind of amazing.
These are ridiculous on a high order stat lines.
I will continue to highlight. Look at the rebounds.
Lots of boards. I mean, he's always been a high percentage, but like, I mean, what do you do when he shoots 64%?
And makes 9 threes?
Like,
You just pack it in and go home and say, well, it wasn't our night.
One of the losses for the Chicago Bulls this season was against the Warriors. I wasn't even mad because there's nothing you could do. Like
They're hot right now.
Yeah, he scored 40 again, shot 63%, 9 threes. Like there's nothing that you can do. So you just got to watch him and enjoy. And I wouldn't be mad if Clay comes back and that team's good. Like, what are you? I mean, you can't even be mad about that.
No, I find them. I really did not. As you know, I hated them when in their younger days. But now that they're like a little older and a little more creaky, and there's no more Durant, and they're not like a crazy super team anymore, I don't hate them as much. They're more like a normal team now.
Yeah, they're a little lovable.
That just plays basketball well.
I agree with that. You were beat by the sandwich. The sandwich has power. Kawhi has power. And then of course the dominating one ball net Broombas are running roughshod across the league. She's got a good team. I think she's gonna go. She's built for the playoffs for sure.
She did sub out injured LeBron, so she's paying attention.
Full staff this week.
Mm-hmm.
The aforementioned
with your boy, both boys.
It hurts me. She stole them. She stole them both.
You'll get there. Your homer days are young. You will soon learn the how to correctly execute a homer pick. And what's really important is you have to vastly overdraft. You have to pick them at least a round early.
Yeah,
homer pick.
I didn't realize that at the time. I should have known. And
okay, look, here's Lonzo. My pick is up in 6 picks, and he's like 5 behind that. So I won't pick him this round. He'll probably wait till next round. No, you fucking pick him right away.
Yeah.
If you want him, you go take him.
Yeah. I should have known better. It's a regret. And unlike esteemed Magic homer Michael, who really went all in this year, I gotta respect him. I think he's got 5 players from the Magic.
What's interesting about that is like his Magic players are all doing well.
Yeah.
But like his team is not. Why?
Let's look. I think the rest of his team is struggling. He's got Middleton.
Booker also.
Middleton not playing is hurting him because that was also a high pick.
And Booker, also Booker is not good in our league.
And he's got Mitchell. That was a point of draft night criticism. The Booker Mitchell back to back in like the 3rd and 4th round.
Guards who only score are not super valuable in our format.
Yeah, it's correct. He also has Mobley too. Like he actually like hit the lottery on a number of good picks. But the Mitchell Booker, because Mitchell's 92.
Was that second and third or third and fourth?
When he drafted Mitchell and Donovan.
Well, Nurkic just got swatted by Levine. So that's how this is going.
Yeah. Love
it. Soft.
I love this Bulls team. I'm sorry. Like they're fun to watch and they're good. And it's been a long time since I've cared about the Bulls. A long time. You know this.
As someone who currently hate watches his own team, I am a bit jealous of this. Because I definitely hate watch the Blazers right now. This is not a good product to watch most nights.
It is not. I agree. And I'm sorry because usually they have been for many years, and they're not enjoyable right now. The other fun fact why DunceBoy is fully out is I am a long way last in the road.
DunceBoy,
a long way.
You got 3 more weeks to shed the cap, or it's yours forever.
We said four more losses. So I need to win a game in 4 weeks. So this past week was included. So I need to win a game in the next 3 weeks, or else I have to. I'm changing to DunceBoyz. That's the official bet rule.
High stakes.
I'm last in 5.
You got a lot of 10s in there.
Yeah, I'm last in 5 categories,
And that's
including
not what you want.
ejections.
This is a golf score. Low score wins. Like,
Not what you want.
All 10s. You don't want a perfect 10 in our league.
Yeah, not what you want at all. Unfortunately,
first turnovers, just like you drew it up.
It's stayed around too, because all the people that are producing on the team also don't turn the ball over a lot. I think you can make it work. Joe somehow still in first in the roto, but he's actually not. He's 2-2. He's not doing well in the game matches. And then the rest.
I believe he has a pretty tough opening schedule to start the season. He was defeated by yours truly in the first week. And then I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he played mostly good teams so far.
He lost to you and Kawhi. So Kawhi's second. You're okay.
I'm like middle. I'm middle of the pack at this point.
And he did get a cupcake win against Bamba, who is also quite not good.
Ooh, cupcake in him. I see how it is.
I just call it like I see it.
You had 3 winless, 2 undefeated. It might separate itself pretty quickly here if things don't change. We really thought that this was going to be a lot of parity. Remember?
It is not. Yeah, and
it has not been like that. It's definitely separating itself quite quickly. Like you can't win. You lose 3 or 4 in a row, and you're in trouble.
But also not in the way we expected. Like the teams that, like, I guess Sandwich went heavy on the centers, Big Stack heavy on the centers. It's not cutting across. Like, it's definitely unexpected performance.
I think that's because like a couple of teams took all the centers, and so like those all center teams are then sometimes losing to the guard teams, and vice versa. So like,
yep.
I went for, like I said from the beginning, I went for balance. And if you look at my roto, I do have balance. It's just all below average balance. So like, I have a lot of 6s, a lot of 7s.
That is true. You are like right at the same tier. You could say the same for me, and mine are all
9s and 10s.
I'm balancedly terrible.
Balancedly terrible. That's like viciously neutral. I'm viciously neutral. You're balancedly terrible.
Greatest. All right, that's a background story for 1 second. The greatest tasting note in the history of booze was vodka. Yep. Viciously neutral for the fans. You go find it out. We won't tell you the brand name. We're not here to advertise, but you find it.
We also don't remember what it is.
We absolutely do not remember.
Because that happened like 12 years ago.
Why'd you gotta ruin the story? Oh man. I think that the top players are starting to sort themselves out a little normally too. Curry, Jokic, Towns, pretty typical. Although Lonzo LaMelo Ball, a good example of
beast.
Just overperformance like crazy. Valanciunas having a crazy season.
He was a 3rd round draft pick. Like, it's not that crazy.
Top 5. That's a big bounce. Yeah. Especially for a guard, especially for a young guard. Like, that's unusual. Brogdon also way up there, having a hell of a season. For one of those like kind of heavy shooting usage guards. So he's doing things. Triple doubles up in here. So yeah, we'll see. It's early. I'm pretty screwed, I think.
It's early, but also everything is ruined.
Yes, everything. The Ball brothers up in the top 12, I think is the storyline of the season.
Gotta get Jello out there. Want to get
Jello?
LiAngelo.
Oh,
the third brother, the Cooper Manning of the Ball family.
Another fun thing. So the esteemed Gator Loki, top of the roto Joe, has loaded up the trading block.
Block. I've never used this before.
Neither have I. And I have heard from the producer. We actually have a fan call coming in to talk about the trading block. So we're gonna bring that person in. We'll see what they have to say. A lot of interesting choices here on the trading block. So I'm curious what they'll have to talk about. I think a couple of those guys, are like big wins. Hey, fan on the phone, Joe, in the flesh. We were just talking about your trading block. The virtual flesh. That sounds much worse than.
Yep. New team name, Virtual Flesh.
So Joe, we were just highlighting your trading block usage. So I kind of interested to hear what's some ideal trade scenarios right now for you with those folks. Like, Barnes, that's a big guy right now. Trez is big. Wendell Carter Jr. having a breakout season. These are some big names. What are you looking for?
Sure. To lay you behind the curtain a little, I Simmons, obviously, who knows when he's going to play. He's obviously a tantalizing talent. Let's put him on the block. See what fish this big tasty guy can reel in.
So what would you take?
Like
what's your minimum? What is your Daryl Morey? Is that right? That's not right. That's right.
Yeah, that's the GM.
Yeah. What's your Morey line for Simmons in this fantasy league right now? I'll offer you hurt Jalen Green.
That's way too low. That's way too low.
What's the line then? What do you need for Simmons?
Well, the Morey line is like I
The
need
Morey
your
line is like
your top 3 draft.
Yeah, the Morey line is Steph Curry.
No, it's like
the number one overall player.
No, it's a top 3 round draft pick. But that's
come on, fantasy. We're talking about fantasy. Come on.
And for fantasy, I'm looking for like round 4, 5 through 10 draft pick. I'm not looking through 1 through 4 draft pick. It's like you give me somebody that could be good. This guy could be transcended for your team. But
never play.
Or never play. It's the risk.
Definitely a risk. But it's a risk reward thing.
It's worth putting him on the block, whatever. So the other guys on the block, Wendell Carter Jr. is off to a fantastic start for the Orlando Magic. Michael's Orlando Magic.
Coming off a big win tonight.
I feel like it's not a sell high because I actually do believe he's going to average about 15-8 for the rest of the year, 1-1. And with good percentages. And so I like that for my other center. I just have a plethora of centers. So I know that people are wanting those. So I'm throwing it out there, see if I can get some people. The Trez and kind of the Washington thing is, he's very good. But if I can gather like an injured star like a Zion or somebody that can win me a category once he's back from injury, it's tempting.
What does Mikal Bridges get me on this block?
Who?
Isn't it on the Suns? Bridges?
Yeah, that was the joke. Who?
Wow!
$100 million man. That's who.
Wow!
Well, $100 million a not fantasy player.
Some hot takes up in here. So nothing is what you're telling me. I don't even get. Maybe not even going to play Ben Simmons with a legitimate player.
You don't sniff any of these 5 guys. Oh, you can sniff Ben Simmons, sure. Wow. You want to do Ben Simmons?
No, I don't. But
okay,
good to know.
That's about where it's at. Yeah, that's a Ben Simmons level offer.
All right. So you said 5 to 10. Here are my 5 to 10 picks. Just
there you go. Okay.
Sake. Jaylen Brown, Chris Boucher, Colin Sexton, Gafford, who I believe is already on your team, Thibault, who is also not on my team anymore, and Clay. Those are my 5 through 10.
Gafford, I picked up Gafford off waivers.
Yeah, that makes sense. You got to handcuff Trez.
Right, that's
if
what
one of those gets hurt, the other one will be great.
That was my thought.
Yep.
Just want to show you my cups. I have some Sonics cups. Do you see the Sonics logo? The crap secondary Sonics logo.
Oh my!
Nice.
It's glassware.
Fancy.
So none of those guys then either. Sounds like you're very uninterested sounding.
They were. None of them got me excited.
So here's a real question.
So and then I added Halliburton and Barnes because I feel like there's some Sacramento Kings buzz going on in the NBA right now, and I feel like let's get opportune on like there's an opportunity, and Tyrese is a very coveted. He was on the block for an open trade with Nat for literally 2 weeks that he just stared at until
he's also
expired.
Like the worst value player on that team right now. He's the worst value player on that team right now, oddly enough.
He's not shooting well.
The trade was on Nat's block for literally 2 weeks, and he just stared at it.
To be fair, I didn't stare at it. I looked at it once and totally forgot about it.
We did have a baby in between, so excuse me.
Yes, I've forgotten literally everything at this point. So, like, also, I'm madly, deeply in love with Christian Wood. So, like, it's going to take a lot more than that to get to pry him away from me.
Well, I knew you were in love with both Tyrese and Christian Wood, so I threw a conundrum at you. And
Yeah, I'm weaker in
and then
the
he wouldn't had a baby.
categories that Wood is strong in than I am the ones that Tyrese is strong in.
Got it.
And there's similar round levels too. I see. I'm looking at it. He's a 4.
What I like about
5.
well, that's kind of when I do offers, I kind of look at round comparison because for some reason, people's heads they think that way. Most people with trades, and so if you get around the round where people drafted, people are more likely to trade. Being an experienced trader, I'm way older than you guys.
Trader Joe.
Yeah, exactly. So Halliburton and Barnes on the block. I both like them because they produce in multiple categories, plus don't turn the ball over for the most part, which is nice. Although the problem about my team is Paul George now averages 5 turnovers a game, as does Karl Anthony Towns, and they're kind of taking me down. So I'm kind of a lot of these reasoning behind these are my low turnover guys, and I'm like, you know what? Let's flip him for a high turnover guy that maybe produces in another category because I can take that because I'm already going to lose turnovers thanks to Paul George and Karl Anthony Towns every week.
How do you feel about Michael Porter Jr.?
I feel like I wish that he'd be healthy, and that you didn't draft him, and that you didn't draft him that early.
You know what's also funny? I picked up Will Barton, who's his handcuff.
Hey, what about a Ben Simmons for the junior for the Porter Junior?
No,
that's intriguing. I like
it. No, it's not.
Really?
I picked up Will Barton, and Will Barton then got injured. So like, it's really just it's a curse now. That draft pick has become a curse for me.
I told you at the end of last season you shouldn't have sold your soul for that championship.
Clearly did.
Oh, did you? Is that what happened?
It seems to be
soul.
Seems to be the case.
I've got it on a little piece of paper sitting on my bedside table right now. It says T-Zac Soul.
Because if you look at this lineup, I'm already in the bad news Bears territory of the season. I started TJ McConnell this week, and Dorian Finney-Smith, and Gary Trent Jr. And I need to bench Rocco. Like this is not going well for me.
Can we review for the listeners what is the dunce cap come on? When does it come on?
He needs 3 more weeks. 1 game in 3 weeks.
So by Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving next week.
Yeah, Thanksgiving next week.
Yeah.
1 week after December.
So this week,
really sneaking up
Thanksgiving. So at the end of the first week of December, he has to win. Otherwise, he's dunce cap boy for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Nat, timeout. I need a game update, please.
End of first quarter, Chicago 33, Portland 24. Portland looking as disinterested as they seem to almost every night in the first quarter. I assume at some point they will realize that there is a basketball game and start trying. But man, it's frustrating to watch them come out every single game just like they just showed up to the building and decided, oh yeah, there's basketball tonight. We should probably play that.
That's unfortunate. That's no good.
And then they expend a ton of energy coming back, and it either works or they run out of gas 5 points short and end up losing by 15 because they run out of gas. It's not enjoyable. It's not an enjoyable product this year. Not loving it so far.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm about to have a child running through. Hold on.
I could go for a Trader Joe in the front office right about now if I for that team because they need to make some moves.
Who's the move? What's the move you want?
I would give CJ Nurk and 1 million picks for Siakam.
He looked okay. I saw he played the other night. I think that was the Blazers Raptors game. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he was. I do the same for OG, but they'll never trade OG. They love him too much.
He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. And I would have put some assets up for DeRozan, but obviously that's ship sailed. He's close, but he's good buddies with Dame, so there was a lot of smoke between the two of them. I don't know. Just I want any 6'10" guy who can play defense and handle the ball a little bit. That's all I want.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Just one. Just give me one. Or I don't even need just one guy over 6'3". That will also work.
So you want a 3-and-D player that every team in the league wants. That's what you want. Got it. What is
Just
the
give me
bet
one.
to review for the listeners and me who just joined? What is the bet?
What?
You made a bet.
Oh, I don't remember we made a spread bet of some kind. I don't recall off the top
Oh,
of
for
my head.
Blazers and Bulls.
Oh, that's very interesting. Wow, you don't even remember.
We have we have a Levine versus Dame true shooting percentage bet.
Yes, also that. This
That's
wasn't the
fine.
baseline of the conversation. I'm sorry, I was prepared for your question, Joe.
Okay,
I was.
thank you, Matt.
Hold on. I just want to highlight a bull stat that was relevant to our conversation last week. Mr. DeRozan, second in free throws made this season. We were making a point of the folks who are down in points and production because of their free throws going down, and Levine is one of those people, even on the Bulls. But DeRozan, I was watching games. I think we talked about this. He doesn't get free throws like the fouls that they've stopped calling. He gets them the old-fashioned way, ISOing and getting to the hole and backing people down and getting people to jump on him. So like he still gets the same fouls called.
Old man game. He's incorporated the old man game.
He's got old man game, and it works. And so he's still getting to the line because he's wily. I love it.
I love it. I actually love watching the Bulls. They're one of the most exciting watches because they have so many old man game guys on it. Plus, they all try hard on defense, which I thought would be their weakness, and I was wrong.
Yeah, that's like literally their
pretty
strength.
Negative on the Bulls in the chat
because of their defense. No, it wasn't in the chat. It was in our. Well, I was really negative. You weren't there during our betting session for game one.
He was.
I actually have an over-under of, 46.5, and
I can blow that away.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I think that's probably a losing.
I'm getting destroyed in that. That's fine, but I'm happy to give it to you because for your happiness, Christopher. I'm happy for your team. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I grew up liking the Bulls. My mom's from Chicago, so it's kind of like a second team to the Sonics.
No explanation necessary. Everybody loves the
Well,
Bulls.
there you go.
All right. So thank you for joining. We'll give you the last segment. What surprised you most so far, real NBA this season, outside of obviously the Bulls doing so well? What's your next surprising thing in the league so far?
Well, everybody keeps talking about different people for like the most improved player, and I watched that Timberwolves game tonight. I think Anthony Edwards is the most improved player. He's unbelievable. It's ridiculous how good he is. The leap that he made is way more than a leap. Like everybody's like Miles Bridges. I was like, I kind of knew Miles Bridges was good, but he might still be the most improved player. But for me, Anthony Edwards is the most shocking because I actually kind of thought Miles Bridges was good, and I did think Anthony Edwards was good. So there's my semi-hot take.
I have not watched a T-Wolves game, so I cannot comment on this.
You would have last year when you had Karl-Anthony Towns. Now I haven't, so I've been watching a little bit. And
my with Edwards, he got super hot to end last season, so I'm wondering how much of it applies because he had like an incredible finish to last season. He almost he almost won Rookie of the Year. And I say this as someone who had him on my team for most of the season. He was not very good for the most of that season. And he flipped a switch and just like went nuts for like the final 20 games. And that's clearly carried over.
But over the summer, he did work on his shot. You can tell he worked on his shot. You can also tell he worked on his handle because he's always had quicks. Like he's like top 1% athlete in the world. He because did you guys know he like grew up playing football? He didn't play basketball until he was like a freshman in high school. So like he grew up playing football. He's like, I'm gonna switch to basketball because there's more opportunity for me to be a pro, which is a little bit ridiculous athlete-wise to say. And then he just kind of learned his way into it. And so this handle and shot is all like brand new. So that's why I think he's the most surprising for me because I feel like his ceiling, I feel like Bridges is leaping to his ceiling. But I feel like Anthony Edwards the trajectory is keep going up. Like he can be all NBA coming up from this. Like he's got the first step. It's ridiculous. And his shot's starting to fall from outside. And once you have the first step of the shot going, you're unstoppable, especially with his size. Like that's what Steph and Dame have. They have the first step of the shot, but they're not 6'6" and 240 like Edwards is. Like you combine that, it's like holy crap.
As fans of the show know, we love us some young bucks who work in the off season. That is the number one stamp of approval of Tuesdays with Drake. As we,
you know what's interesting about that is his big knock was that he was lazy.
Oh,
In the draft, that's what everybody
And
said. Like, he's not a hard worker. He didn't try very hard in games, and
fight the demons.
It just shows like how little that process matters. Like, you can't, especially for young players like this who are just monstrous athletes who are going to make it to the league and are clearly holding something back because they don't want to get hurt and they want to like not jeopardize their future, so they don't play super hard at the college level. And then they make it to the league and then they ball out and everyone's like, well, they weren't hard workers, but they were just, because they were big enough and good enough, they could have probably played from high school, but they had to do this 1 year and they had to make sure that while they were playing for free, they didn't like blow up a knee or something and tank their future.
Interesting segue that I will make back to the Bulls again is I was actually didn't even think about this, but the entire starting lineup, well, Patrick Williams got hurt, but like all of the stars in the Bulls, they've drafted none of those people. It's like, that would be a rarity, I think, recently, that how the Bulls
that's how it is now. That's how it is now.
Oh, that's how it is now. Oh,
look at every good. Okay, Lakers. Who have they drafted that's on that team?
True.
Because of the movement within free agency, nobody stays.
Yep. And Chicago is a big market team too, so like they can do that. Like, they haven't been good for a while, but they're still Chicago and they're still the Bulls.
That's fair.
And this isn't like Portland where like the best free agent we've ever gotten is like resigning our own guy who we traded for. Like,
are the Warriors like mid dynasty? Is that the last team that really had recent draft picks that won a title? Like
Bucks. Middleton and Giannis were both draft picks up there.
Warriors took their big three is Clay, Curry, and
Draymond.
Because that was still pretty recent. Yeah, the Bucks.
But Iggy was a trade,
but they got it back for this year. Also, got
with
it
old
for the
man
championship on our group bet. Boom.
That's a good pick. That was a good reach pick that now looks brilliant. Although, I mean, they're playing out of control. They're crushing everybody's expectations. If Clay comes, like I've said this last week, but I'll say it again, if Clay comes back healthy, like that team's just.
Latest reports is going to be back for the Christmas.
Would also be very helpful for my fantasy team.
Yes.
Have both Splash Bros good to go.
Oh, you're built for the playoffs, clearly.
Who's the other one?
Curry?
Oh, I thought you said something else. I think you said Slash Bros.
All right. We've clearly reached the end of this.
It's getting too late.
This conversation.
Everyone's tired.
Well, this was fun. Thank you for calling in, Joe. As a fan of the show, we always appreciate the call-ins. I will look forward to any movement in your trading block, even though from your viewpoint, I'm not sure who's trading you something for them. We'll see. I will gladly have that person on the show once that trade occurs. You let us know what happens.
Send me some offers, guys.
That's all you got. That's all he's got. Nat,
not sure what you want. So
I already told you what I got. That's all I got. I got nothing. Is what I got.
Well, it sounded like nothing.
What do you want from me?
Womp womp.
I think did you hear some music?
I can't wait for that Dunce camp. It's gonna be amazing.
Dunce camp.
Dunce boy, baby.
Dunce cap. Here it comes.
It's gonna happen. It's not gonna be good. And I hope the Bulls win tonight. Go Bulls.
Well, 39-28 right now, so still looking good.
Bye.